Have you ever brought something into your home because it just looked lucky? Jessica did. It was a housewarming gift, a beautiful bamboo plant. Clean glass vase, perfect green stalks, a red ribbon tied like it was ready to grant wishes. She thought it was a Feng Shui blessing. Turns out, it was a slow leak, not of water, of energy, of peace, and eventually of connection. Because sometimes, the prettiest things we place with love are the very things that block our money flow, our lucky breaks, and the tiny golden moments that make a house feel like home. She didn't notice it at first. The plant sat right by the front door next to the shoes, half hidden behind a console table. But the house started to feel heavier. Not haunted, not dramatic, just tired. Little arguments began to show up. The air felt slow, like something was off, but too polite to say it out loud. And that's when Jessica realized Feng Shui isn't just about what's beautiful. It's about what breathes. If this kind of wisdom speaks to you, if you've ever felt like you're doing everything to stay afloat, and it still isn't flowing, thank you for being here. Feel free to hit like, subscribe, or even drop a comment below. It helps YouTube know you're part of this quiet shift. This is the second chapter of Jessica's journey. In the first video, she met the lucky cat that brought her fewer guests and more awkward silences. Now, we're about to step into her next realization that sometimes what you think is lucky is quietly caging your chi. So grab your tea, look around your space, and let's talk about the bamboo you didn't know was whispering no. Sometimes it's not the big things blocking your money flow. It's the quiet onus sitting there, looking like they belong. Like a lucky plant that's slowly telling your energy to settle down and stop moving. Jessica thought the house was just adjusting. New place, new walls, new quiet. But there was a stillness that didn't feel peaceful. It felt too still. Like someone pressed pause on the vibe of the home. There was no big fight, no storm. Just a slow buildup of something's not right. Dinner didn't taste bad, but no one wanted seconds. The couch was comfortable, but sitting on it felt like waiting for a bus that wouldn't come. One evening, she looked around and thought, why does everything feel like it's on hold? That was the first time she really looked at the bamboo near the door. And something in her gut whispered, it's not just sitting there. The bamboo was tucked behind a console table right by the entrance. It looked clean, fresh, symbolic. But in Feng Shui, anything placed at the mouth of energy, the front door, is crucial. That bamboo wasn't flowing. It was trapping. The water inside the vase hadn't been changed in weeks. The roots were curled. The chi, totally still. And the placement next to the shoe pile, hidden in a shadow corner, meant it became a holding pattern. In Feng Shui, energy wants to move. It wants to breathe. But this bamboo became the energetic version of a sigh that never gets released. Instead of welcoming wealth or lucky energy, the space started to feel like a waiting room. Like success was circling the block but never pulling into the driveway. Jessica didn't cry. She didn't panic. She just stopped laughing as much. Conversations with her husband turned shorter. Not cold, just clipped. Like everyone was low on patience without knowing why. She wasn't tired exactly. But she stopped lighting candles. Stopped humming around the kitchen. Stopped moving like the space was hers. The air wasn't heavy. It was more like low volume. And somewhere inside, she started to ask, What if this isn't about me? What if something in this house is pressing the mute button? It was like trying to work with a browser open on 34 tabs. The space looked fine, but there was a lag. Emotionally, energetically. Like the home had background apps running. And the bamboo? It was the frozen window that needed a force quit. Jessica texted her cousin, who's deep into Feng Shui. Simple advice came back. Bamboo's not bad, but where it lives, how the water moves, and what's around it. That's what tells the story. Still water equals stale energy. Hidden plants block flow instead of guiding it. Anything by the door needs to invite chi, not bury it. So she replaced the murky water, cleaned the glass, and moved the bamboo to a bright, open shelf in the living room. She added a small light next to it, and a coin charm nearby, just to reset the vibe. Within days, she felt a shift. Lighter dinners, fewer eye rolls, even a random refund from a canceled order she forgot about. Jessica didn't throw out the bamboo. She reset it. She gave it light. She gave it movement. She gave it intention. And as she did, the house seemed to breathe out. The corner by the door got a new plant, instead stone, that danced a little in the breeze, sitting proud and alive. She paused once by the new setup and whispered, "Let's start over. You and me, flow first." Now she jokes, "If it doesn't move, glow, or welcome cheat, doesn't get to live near my shoes." Her husband calls the new plant the bouncer, and somehow the name stuck, because in their home now, energy doesn't sit still. It circulates. Not all energy blocks come in loud colors or bad vibes. Some slip in quietly wrapped in good intentions, looking like a blessing, but holding stillness you didn't ask for. Jessica kept telling herself, "It's just a plant." But each morning, something felt heavier than it should. She'd pour her coffee, stare out the window, and feel like her day already started behind. The house was clean, the bills were paid, but something about the mornings felt off rhythm. Even her playlists didn't hit right. The light through the blinds didn't feel alive. And the space, despite the decor, felt like a page waiting for someone to write on it. No urgency. Just a low buzz of, "Why am I already tired?" In Feng Shui, bamboo is meant to guide energy, especially when placed where it can grow toward light and move with the air. Jessica's bamboo had none of that. It was placed in the wrong spot, low, shadowed, next to stagnant elements like shoe racks and dust-catching corners. Worse, the water had turned cloudy. She hadn't even noticed. In Feng Shui, that kind of water is a silent blocker. Instead of nourishing the space, it holds emotional fog, like trying to breathe through a wet sponge. Every time she walked past it, the energy at the door greeted her with nothing, no welcome, no lift. Just delay. Jessica's confidence started dipping. Not in big ways. Just enough to change how she walked through her own home. She skipped putting on earrings. Stopped opening the blinds first thing. Stopped laughing when the dog did something silly. Even her voice on Zoom calls sounded flatter. It wasn't burnout. It was disconnection. And deep down, she wondered, is it me? Am I the one dimming my own energy? If any part of this feels familiar, if you've ever had moments where your home looks right but feels wrong, you're not alone. This journey isn't about blaming the bamboo or judging the decor. It's about listening to what your energy's been trying to say. If that message speaks to you, hit like or drop a comment below with a blank spation. You're part of this quiet shift too. It was like wearing shoes that technically fit, but every step left a quiet ache in your heel. You don't throw the shoes out. You just stop looking forward to walking. The bamboo wasn't attacking her life. It was dulling it. A plant that once symbolized luck was now holding the space in a neutral freeze. No blessings, no movement, no joy. Her aunt meant well with the gift. But Jessica started Googling. Does bamboo affect Feng Shui flow if water goes bad? The answers came fast. Bamboo in cloudy water equals slow money. Shadow placement equals blocked chi. Hidden plants equals quiet disconnection. One blog said, "When energy can't see light, it stops believing in growth." That hit hard. She cleaned the vase, trimmed the roots, and placed it on a window shelf near the family photo wall. Next to it, a small citrine crystal gifted by a client. The vibe changed within 48 hours. She found herself singing in the kitchen again. Even danced with her dog. Light came in and stayed. Jessica lit a cinnamon-scented candle that Friday. She stood in front of the now clean bamboo and whispered, "Let this space invite in the energy I'm ready for." It didn't need to be dramatic. She didn't need to sage the house or chant. She just needed to reset the story, to move one thing from shadow to light, and let the rest follow. Now, every time she waters that bamboo, she jokes, "You better behave this time." Her husband calls it the flow coach. And yeah, it stuck. Because now, when people walk in, they don't just say, "Your home's pretty." They say, "It feels good in here." And that's the kind of wealth that starts from the roots. Not every sacred object brings sacred energy. Some symbols mean well, but land wrong. And when placed in the center of your home, they don't just sit there. They set the tone. Jessica wanted the space to feel warm. She placed the laughing Buddha right in the center of the dining table. Round belly, joyful face, gold finish. It felt like a blessing. But within weeks, dinners started shrinking. They still cooked together, sure. But the conversations faded. Plates clinked. Forks moved. Nobody said much. Even her parents noticed. Her mom asked once, "Why does it feel quiet in here?" Jessica felt it too. The room that used to hold stories and wine and laughter now felt like it was waiting for a prayer that never came. In Feng Shui, the center of your home is the heart. It controls balance, health, connection. Placing any object there, especially one tied to belief or tradition, shapes the rhythm of the entire space. The Buddha statue was heavy. Physically, yes, but also energetically. It faced the kitchen. It faced the sink. In Feng Shui terms, this meant blessing energy pointing toward drain energy. So instead of holding joy, that center table began to hold stillness. Not peace, just a soft block. A spiritual symbol turned into a static presence, like someone watching the room without saying a word. Jessica started feeling unsure in her own space. Hosting friends felt like a task. Lighting candles felt awkward. She even stopped playing jazz during dinner. She didn't feel watched. She felt paused, like someone had asked her to whisper inside her own home. There was no argument, no drama, just this gentle shrinking. And deep inside, a question showed up. Did I invite in silence instead of light? It felt like turning on a radio and realizing it's been set to a station with no signal. Noise exists, but nothing's playing. That Buddha wasn't wrong. It was just placed like a full stop instead of a welcome mat. And the heart of the home? It picked up the cue. Dinner wasn't ruined. It was just emotionally muted. Jessica found an old notebook from a Feng Shui webinar she watched months back. One line jumped out. Sacred symbols need space to breathe. Don't place belief on the same line as digestion. She moved the Buddha, not out of the house, but to a small shelf in the meditation nook. She added fresh flowers, a candle, a purpose. Then she cleared the center of the table, placed a round bowl of oranges, and a wood placemat underneath. By the next Sunday, they were laughing again. Her dad even told a joke that made her choke on her tea. That's when she knew. It wasn't just decor, it was direction. The Buddha didn't need to leave. It just needed a better home. Now it holds intention, not tension. It glows gently next to her favorite books. And the center of the dining table? It's back to holding warmth, food, light, and movement. Jessica now calls that little shelf the blessing corner. Her husband leaves a note there sometimes. Little scribbles like, "Good morning," or "Crystals aren't real, but you are." They laugh every time, because now, when they sit at the table, nobody needs to start the conversation. It's already happening. Sometimes, the energy that's supposed to protect you ends up protecting you from the very things you need. Like luck, cash flow, connection. Jessica had high hopes for the red coin string. 3 brass coins tied with red thread hung neatly above the front door. It was meant to activate luck, just like that Feng Shui blog post promised. But weeks went by, and the house got quiet. Not the restful kind. The heavy kind. Fewer texts from friends. Fewer guests. Fewer spontaneous plans. And inside, the room started feeling like tunnels long and disconnected. People moved through the house, but rarely stopped to talk. It was like everyone had somewhere else to be even at home. In Feng Shui, the main door is the mouth of qi. It's where money, flow, people, and luck enter. Anything placed too tight, too controlling, or too symbol-heavy can unintentionally shut the mouth. The red coin string, while symbolic of protection and prosperity, was tied too high, too tight, and directly across the top frame. Energetically, that string was a gatekeeper, and not a friendly one. Instead of drawing in good energy, it began to act like a seal-blocking flow, filtering out the lightness. And Jessica felt it. Every time she opened the door, the air shifted. Not in, not out. Just stuck. Jessica's voice got softer at home. She spoke less, listened more, but not in a peaceful way. More like she didn't want to disturb something. There were moments where she'd open her mouth to ask about dinner, to tell a story, and just leave it. Let the silence win. The home didn't feel angry. It felt closed. And when you're the one who made it that way, with good intentions and bad placement, the guilt doesn't scream. It just sits. It was like taping a "do not disturb" sign on your mailbox, but wondering why no one's sending letters anymore. Jessica didn't mean to shut the house off. She was just trying to help it feel safe. But in doing that, she built a barrier she never noticed, until it was already working. A barrier that blocked more than danger. It blocked momentum. One night, scrolling through YouTube, Jessica found a Feng Shui coach explaining how doors breathe. Simple ideas made it click. The door needs to open wide, easily, and feel light. Coin strings should be placed to encourage qi, not suppress it. If energy hesitates at the door, money and people do too. She took down the coin string the next morning, cleaned the top of the frame, burned a little orange peel oil near the threshold. Then she added a small wind bell outside, one that chimed only when the breeze came. The house felt lighter before lunch. And that same week, 3 unexpected visits and an old check she forgot to cash finally arrived. The red coin string didn't get thrown away. It got moved to the office corner, where it could guard without blocking. Jessica opened all the windows, shook out the doormat, wiped down the knob with salt water and lemon. The door started to feel like a welcome again, not a checkpoint. Now, every time they get a random package or a pop-by from a neighbor, Jessica laughs and says, "Guess the door's talking again." And her husband? He calls it chi-chat, because when the energy's flowing, so are the stories. And that's when you know the house isn't just pretty, it's alive. Not all sound heals. Some sounds confuse. In Feng Shui, even the gentlest wind chime, when hung in the wrong place, can turn from a whisper of flow into a ripple of static. There was a week where Jessica felt like her home was buzzing. Not from people, not from tech. From inside the walls. A low background buzz that made her shoulders clench for no reason. Sleep felt lighter. The dog barked more. The kitchen felt weirdly busy even when no one was cooking. It wasn't loud. It was layered. Like every corner of the house was trying to say something at the same time. And at the center of it all, a wind chime, pretty, silver, clean, hanging in the hallway between the bedroom and the bathroom. Feng Shui sees sound as movement. Vibration is one of the strongest ways to stir stagnant qi, but only if it flows with intention. The hallway where Jessica hung that chime? Too narrow, too echo-heavy, too close to places meant for quiet integration. In Feng Shui, hallways are like energy rivers meant to connect rooms, not interrupt them. The chime didn't soothe. It split. Every small breeze, every draft triggered it. Not as a gentle call, but as an energetic collision between calm and motion. Instead of balancing energy, it kept waking it up in the wrong place, at the wrong time. Jessica became more restless. Not anxious, not dramatic, just unsettled. She forgot what she was doing mid-task. Opened cabinets and forgot why. Started a sentence and didn't feel like finishing it. Her thoughts didn't race. They zigzagged. And when she walked through the hallway, there was a moment every time where she tensed. Not enough to notice, but enough to shift the whole nervous system without a word. That tiny clink of metal became a trigger. Not for fear, for mental fog. It was like leaving your television on low volume all day. Not enough to hear the show, but just loud enough to stop your brain from ever settling. Her house wasn't loud. It was just mentally noisy. The wind chime that was meant to purify was now functioning like an alarm clock that didn't know when to stop. Jessica didn't need a Feng Shui book this time. She just noticed one thing. She didn't want to pass through that hallway anymore. So she moved the chime, hung it by the window in the kitchen instead, facing outside where the morning breeze came in. She added a soft rug under it, put a tiny bowl of bay leaves and salt beneath the window, and instantly the vibe shifted. The hallway breathed again. And her focus? It came back like flipping a switch. Even her dog stopped barking at nothing. She didn't throw away the chime. It was beautiful. It just needed a new role. By placing it in the kitchen, facing nature, not the bathroom door, it became a signal for beginnings, not interruptions. She passed through the hallway that evening with bare feet. No buzz, no grip, just movement. And when the wind picked up that night, the chime sounded like what it was always meant to be. A soft exhale, not a sudden alert. Now, every time the chime sings from the kitchen window, Jessica smiles and says, "Permission granted." Her husband calls it the yes bell. And in a house that once whispered, maybe later, to everything, that sound? That's cash flow energy, baby. Jessica didn't tear her house apart. She didn't throw out everything with a symbol or story. She just started listening. One bamboo. One statue. One door. One sound. Each shift wasn't dramatic. But together, they opened up a home that had been quietly holding its breath. And if you've ever felt that, a space that looks fine but feels like it's holding something back, maybe this is your nudge. Not to start over, but to start noticing. If something in you softened while watching this, if your breath got deeper or your mind whispered, "Oh, that's why," feel free to hit like, subscribe, or even share this with someone whose space feels stuck. This channel isn't just about Feng Shui. It's about remembering how to listen to energy again. Gently, clearly, like the sound of a chime in the right place. We'll see you in the next chapter, because Jessica's home still has stories to tell. So does yours. Your space speaks. Wisdom listens.